Good afternoon and welcome to the Spanish Fork Sports Complex. Scott Langford here with 2A softball. It's the state championship tournament. This is the 2A bracket. It's the 2A, 3A all weekend long, and we're happy to have you along on Centricom Channel 10. And we've got the number one seed, the Duchesne Eagles, taking on their close foes from Altamont, the Longhorns. And it'll be Duchesne as the home team with the number one seed in the RPI. Altamont comes in with the number 8 RPI on the season. We've had rain delays. When we got here, there was puddles on the field. We've moved fields, and we apologize for the delay, but it's been a crazy effort by the grounds crew at the sports complex to get this ready, and I'm just impressed they were able to get it off this soon. So the next 2 days are supposed to be nice with the weather, but as it goes right now, it's going to be nice and hot the next 2 days. Probably humid with the weather. Here we go. We're ready to go. First batter up for the Altamont Longhorns will be Jaylee Farnsworth, and she is a senior for the Altamont Longhorns. Farnsworth leads batting averages for Altamont, batting .488, and she's got 29 RBIs on the season. Pitching for the Duchesne Eagles will be Kelsey Grant. First ball comes in high, ball one. I think I got this incorrect. It's actually not. It's number 11, Wiersma, and she is the catcher. I announced that completely wrong. It was all Duchesne. So she bats .512 with 9 RBIs on the season, including 1 home run. So ball two. So here we go, just underway. We've had to move all fields. We're also keeping an eye on Gunnison and Parowan. On the 3A side of things, we'll have Carbon and Grand, as well as South Summit and Emory. And there's going to be a base hit on the right side. And so the first runner aboard with a single. So a single for number 11, Tanisha Wiersma. Now up for the Longhorns will be number 5, Abby Long. Long on the season, bats .531 with 15 RBIs and a home run. There's the pitch from Grant, high and outside, ball one. Catching for Duchesne will be number 8. And number 8 is Lexi Moreland. Pitch comes in. And looks good, is a strike. Strike 1-1. The count even for Abby Long. Abby Long is senior for this Altamont Longhorn team. And here's the 1-1 pitch. And a pitch that's going to be popped up, and catcher can't quite get to it. It'll be strike 2. So count 1-2. Appreciate Centricom. They've gone through a lot to get these games up and streaming. We've had to move locations. Appreciate Barrett, Hilton, and the crew. And hope you enjoy softball on Centricom Channel 10. Pitch is a 1-2 pitch. Pitch looks good. Popped up on the right side. Looks like it'll be out of play, but it is staying in there. It will be out. So a fly to the first baseman. And that's out, number 1, the first out of this ball game. So making that catch was number 3 for Duchesne. Actually, number 23, Lexi Young. Now batting for Altamont will be Kenley Duncan, number 17. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be hit over to the second baseman. That'll double it up as they had the hit and run on. Not much of a chance for the base runner, and that'll do it. 3 up, 3 down. After the first inning of play here at the Spanish Fork Sports Complex. No score as we head to the bottom of the first inning with Duchesne up to bat.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Doctors B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of Central and South Central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt-hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
With a 3-0 league record and a 5-8 overall record coming out of the 2A North. So those are your matchups today. Facts about these two teams. Key wins for the Duchesne Eagles as they have a 10-run win against South Sevier, and for Altamont. Altamont beat Ben Lomond and is on a one-game win streak. First up now for the Duchesne Eagles will be Jaylee Farnsworth. I had her up at the top of the first inning, but she will bat in the bottom of the first. She plays shortstop for the Duchesne Eagles. Number 1, number 8 as we kick off the softball tournament after an extensive rain delay. The field looks like it's in perfect shape now. And here's the first pitch. Pitching for Altamont will be Oakley Foy. Foy brings the pitch. That one looks down the middle, and it will be a strike. Strike one. So we'll keep you posting on other action on the field. Next to us will be Gunnison and Parowan. Strike one. So 0-2 the count. And on the field next to us, it will be South Summit and Emory. And then Carbon and Grand also facing off. We'll keep you posted on all of those games. You can watch them all on Centricom Channel 10 and KSL.com. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one looks good. Fouled off on the right side. Count remains 0-2 with the foul ball. Again, Jaylee Farnsworth for the Duchesne Eagles. She's a sophomore. Boy will stay at the top of the circle for a minute. Takes the pitch from their coach. And here comes a pitch from Foy. It's an 0-2 pitch. Pitch is high, fouled off. Count remains 0-2. Nice battle for Farnsworth. 0-2. Farnsworth steps back in the box. And here comes Foy. Here comes a pitch from Foy. That one's high. Tried a little change up. Missed upstairs. 1-2 now the count. Just a reminder, you can watch all the games of the 2A and 3A tournament live on Centricom Channel 10. There's the 1-2 pitch. Pitch is inside, fouled off. That was kind of an after the fact swing, but Farnsworth fouls it off the handle. She'll step back in the box.
Holy cow, they have 3 Farnsworths?
Here's Foy. Pitches in, outside, ball 2. Count now evens. Farnsworth, the leadoff batter for Duchesne. No score in the top of the first. This is the first batter of the bottom of the first inning for the Duchesne Eagles. There's the 2-2 pitch. It's inside, fouled off, not out of play, but out of reach anyway. And then the count remains 2-2. That's 3 foul balls now. Actually, it's 4 by my count for Jaylee Farnsworth. Comes Foy with the 2-2 pitch. Pitch is up, and the count is full. So Farnsworth battling back from an 0-2 count now to full count, 3-2. Farnsworth settles in. Here comes the pitch from Foy. Pitches in and will be inside. Ball 4. So that brings up the batter number 2 for Duchesne. And that's number 21. Jocelyn Farnsworth averages 488 on the season. 7 doubles, 4 triples. And here comes the pitch from Foy. And it's going to be a bunt right up the middle to Foy. Foy to first base. They'll get the out at first. Play coming at third. And how about Farnsworth stretching that out? So you get a sacrifice bunt by Farnsworth. And that's Jocelyn. And then Jaylee advances to third base on the heads-up play. She was going all the way, no question. She turned second base and didn't even hesitate. Aggressive base running by the Duchesne Eagles. Now they have a runner in scoring position. On third base is Jaylee Farnsworth. Kelsey Grant now up to the plate for Duchesne. Grant on the season, 467, 2 home runs, 8 doubles, and 3 triples. Here's the pitch, up and out, ball 1. Got to watch a lot of these girls play basketball during the basketball season. Quite a talented team. Kelsey Grant, just a junior for these Duchesne Eagles. Here's the pitch to Grant. That one gets the corner, outside corner, strike 1. For those of you watching, sometimes the umpires take just a second. That's why there's the big pause. Looked like it caught the corner, and it did. There's the junior Grant. Pitch comes in, looks good, hit to the shortstop. Play will be at first, and it's going to be thrown wide. And Grant will go to second base and look at third, but she'll hold up at third. So that's an RBI for Kelsey Grant. And that will be an error on the shortstop as the throw was wide. That'll bring up number 8, Lexi Moreland. Moreland on the season batting .483, 4 home runs, 4 triples, and 3 doubles. And she is a junior. Moreland playing center field for the Duchesne Eagles. Runner on second is Grant. Here comes a pitch from Foy. Pitch is off the handle. It'll be strike 1. So our score is 1-0 after the error. And 1 down here at the Spanish Fork Sports Complex. Here's the pitch from Foy. Outside and does not hit the corner. That'll be ball, 1-1 the count. And the pitcher, Oakley Foy for Altamont. We'll run down the lineups for both of these teams that are between innings. There's the pitch. That one's a strike. Driven into left field. Base hit. That'll be an RBI for Lexi Moreland, and she'll get a double as she goes into second base standing up. So a double. So Lexi Moreland with the double.
You have Lexi Moreland hitting that, correct?
Yes. Score 2-0 now in the bottom of the second. Just 1 out on the single. And it'll be out on the left side. And that ball's going to go loose, so it's going to be an error on the pass ball, then an error on the throw, and that'll bring in another run. That's run number 3 as Lexi Moreland crosses the plate. And that will be 3. Up to the plate will be Crum. And that will be, let's see, Cadence Crum. And Crum is a sophomore again for Duchesne, a young Duchesne team. A lot of talent and a lot of good years coming up. Ball 1 is the count. Strike will be out, fouled off on the right side. Strike 1-1. So we've got 2 errors in the inning for Altamont, which has cost 2 runs for these Duchesne Eagles. The Eagles leading 3-0, 1 out, no one on, with Crum up to the plate. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, out and high. So ball 2, 2-1 the count. Crum playing third base for Duchesne. Pitches in the dirt, ball low, 3-1. Now a hitter's count coming up for Cadence Crum. Boy will step back, now set to pitch. Crum looks for the corner on that right side and gets it. Now full count. And Crum knew it was close. She didn't head towards first base. As beautiful pitch by Foy. Payoff pitch for Crum now with full count. Pitch is down and low, ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning, 2 errors, and Duchesne with another base runner already leading 3-0. Now batting will be number 5, Hallie Nielsen. And for the Duchesne Eagles, she is a senior batting .392. 36 RBIs on the season with 3 home runs, 6 doubles, and 5 triples. 1 down. Pitch is going to be inside, but looked like it hit her. Yeah, it did. Might have. So ball 1 to Nielsen. Able to keep Crum on first base after the pitch. There's the pitch, and going to be high. That will be ball 2 for Nielsen. Just a programming note, we're just informed that 2A will stay on these, at least 2A will stay on these fields all afternoon and evening. So makes it a little bit easier for broadcasting purposes. And you can watch them all on local10.tv. Again, 1 out, 3-0. Duchesne with the lead. Batting with their number 6 batter. There's the first strike on this batter. 2-1, 1-2, 2-1 the count rather. And Crum remains at first base. 11 stolen bases on the season for Cadence Crum. Get all of our stats from Game Changer, so if they're wrong, we apologize. You'll have to talk to your coaching staff about that. Here's the pitch from Foy. Hit right back to Foy. She makes a nice stop, as that was a tough one, and unable to make the catch, but she did knock it down. She gets the out, and Crum moves into scoring position on second base. Now up will be number 23, Lexi Young, and Young is a senior for the Duchesne Eagles. And the catcher and the pitcher will talk about it. We'll see if we can get a score from Pepper Gale on the Gunnison. And Parowan 0-0 at the end of 1. So we're still in the first inning of this one. Now batting will be Young from the left side. Again, runner on second, 2 down now. And here's the pitch from Foy. Foy will hit up the left side, goes outside the lines, and foul ball. Strike 1 on Young. Just getting underway in the 3A classification. Tyler and Lachelle Moss on the call. I should say Lachelle and Tyler Moss on the call, as Lachelle's in charge over there. So that will be Grand and Carbon. Grand County and Carbon. That's a number 1 and 9 matchup. Also playing is 4 and 5, South Summit 4, Emory 5 at the other field. Strike on the left side. That'll be 0-2 now the count on Lexi Young. Young, the first baseman for the Duchesne Eagles. Foy checks the armband, and here comes the 0-2 pitch. And that one's closed. It does get the corner. That'll be a strikeout looking, and that'll end the inning. But Duchesne does some damage, and in the bottom of the first, they score 3 runs on 2 hits. See if we get this right. 3 runs on 2 hits with 1 left on. So at the end of 1, it's 3 for Duchesne, no score for the Altamont Longhorns.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care. Closer to home.
Which is Hallie Nielsen. And then in center field is number 21, Jocelyn Farnsworth, and right field was number 22, and that's Grace Davis. So here we go, top of the second inning with Altamont's cleanup hitter up to bat. That's Oakley Foy up to the plate. First pitch is a strike on Foy. There's the 0-1 pitch from Grant. That one's going to be high. Ball 1, 1-1. So in 2A classification, it's Duchesne, then Enterprise, and then Beaver are your top 3 seeds. There's a hit deep to the right side, and that's going to be a home run for Oakley Foy as she'll round the bases. There was not much question the minute when that one hit the bat. That one was up there, out there, and over the fence in right center field. So a beautiful hit by Oakley Foy on the season. Foy has only 1 home run, so that's her second home run of the season to go along with 5 doubles. She bats .455. But the senior for Altamont gets the Longhorns with a needed run on the home run on the right center field.
To receive our first hot dog home run, it is Oakley Norton. Good job.
Oakley Foy. Here we go.
Oakley what?
Strike 1.
Oh, I wrote Norton round twice.
So right now Riley Norton up to the plate. And Norton is a senior for the Altamont Longhorns playing. She's a designated hitter, I believe. We'll see.
Excuse me, that's Oakley Foy.
So the count 1-1. There's the pitch. That one swung on and missed. Strike 2 for Riley Norton. Norton on the season batting .519 with 2 doubles, 2 triples, and 12 RBIs. Ball comes in from the side. 1-2 the count. There's the pitch. And swing and a miss. Strike out number 1 for Altamont. Yep. So the first out of the inning. Again, Duchesne leads 3-1 in the top of the second inning. As we look at the bracket, so all the games will be delayed. You'll just have to kind of keep track. We're probably 2.5 hours behind time. So if you look at the bracket, you'll see approximately what you have. The first pitch for Sydney Allred, the right fielder, is a strike one. Allred on the season, batting .375 with 9 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off on the left side, 0-2 to Allred. Allred, a senior for Altamont. Here's the pitch. Outside, tried to hit a spot, little out to the right, good hold by Allred. It's 1-2. Pitcher's count that gives Grant a little bit of flexibility in her pitching. Grant also a great basketball player. And that one gets away from Kelsey as that'll be ball 2. 2-2 the count. We're batting 4, 5, 6 in this inning. Here's the pitch, and looks like it's up, and ball 3. So now the count is full. Here comes the full count pitch from Grant. Pitch is up, fouled off right at our area, and going to be, the count remains full. So we can step back and see if we can get a Perwin Gunnison score. Still no score in the other 2A matchup, and we'll catch a 3A score here in a moment. Here's Grant, full count, and that one looks good and does catch the inside corner. That's the second strikeout in this inning for Kelsey Grant. Second out, and that'll bring up number 4. Actually, yep, number 4, which is Gracie Thacker. And Thacker is a senior. Bats .200 with 7 RBIs on the season. 3-1 our score, 2 down here at the Spanish Fork Sports Complex 2A Championship Softball on CentriCom Channel 10. Here's the pitch, and swung on, miss, strike. Here comes Grant. Here's the second pitch, and that one, did it catch the corner? It did. Strike 2. Actually, it's 1-2 is the count. I missed that first ball. Comes the 1-2 pitch. And swung on, and that will be strike 3. Play it first, and that will be 3 consecutive strikeouts for Kelsey Grant as they retire the side. For Altamont, 1 hit. 1 run on 1 hit with no one left on and no errors. As we head to the bottom of the second inning, it is 3-1 Duchesne over Altamont.
Jones & DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
We head into the bottom of the second inning of play. Duchesne leading 3-1. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Altamont Longhorns. Pitching is Oakley Foy, number 16. At catcher is number 11, and that is Tanisha Wiersma. And on first base will be number 17, Kenley Duncan. Make sure I get these names correct. It's Kenley Duncan. On second base will be number 6, and number 6 is Riley Allen. Shortstop will be Abby Long, number 5. Third baseman, Gracie Thacker, number 4 in left field. Actually, left field is Gracie Thacker. On third base is Riley Allen. Kenley Duncan is in center field. And then in right field is Sydney Allred. So leading off for Duchesne in the bottom of the second inning will be number 22, and that's Grace Davis. And there's a strike. So it will be Davis, and on the season for Davis, she's batting .211 with, looks like 10 RBIs and a home run to her credit. Here's the pitch. Pitch is up, strike on the outside. Just for our viewers, we have a tree that blocks the view of first base. Not much we can do with our camera, and so that's what we have. I'll keep you posted on what happens, and we need a tree pruner here at the Spanish Fork Sports Complex. So we apologize for the obstructed view. There's the pitch. Pitch is up high, ball 1. So the umpire will call a pause. Is there something on the field or someone? Close the gate, I believe. So in this bottom of the second inning, Duchesne will bat 8-9-1. And again, up to the plate is Davis. Davis, the right fielder. She squares, shows bunt, and will pop one up to second base. Dropped, but made it in time. So nice job by the second baseman, Riley Allen. So now batting the 9th position will be the second baseman, number 2, Chesney Farnsworth. On the season, Farnsworth bats .273 with 1 home run and 16 RBIs. There's the pitch from Foy. Inside, strike 1. She turned on that pitch. Couldn't quite get it, though. And it'll be 0-1 the count. There's the pitch from Foy, 0-1. Hit to the first baseman, beautifully fielded, and she steps on the bag. And what a nice pickup by the first baseman, Kenley Duncan. And she did an unassisted out on that one. So that's out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Duchesne in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring us back up to the top of the order. Jaylee Farnsworth, a shortstop, up to bat. Farnsworth on her last hit had a base on balls. And she had 4 foul balls as well. That will be outside, ball 1 for Farnsworth. Again, our score 3-1 here. Duchesne with the lead, 2 outs, though in the bottom of the second inning. Farnsworth, the sophomore. Ooh, that one's going to bounce behind. Got away from Foy. It will be a ball. So 2-0 the count for Farnsworth. Again, the sophomore Farnsworth, that's Jaylee. She plays shortstop for Duchesne. Batting .488 on the season. She gets hits half the time. There's the pitch to Farnsworth. And that one's right down the middle and will be strike 1. 2-1 the count. I remember last year we had an umpire that would take about 2 to 3 seconds, and so we'd start to mark the ball, and then they would call the strike, and Nancy and I had to wait. Here's the 1-2 pitch. 2-1 pitch, rather. That one inside, ball 3. 3-1. No one on, 2 outs. 3-1 the score. Foy will take the pitch from her coach, and Farnsworth steps out of the box. Now she'll step back in. Foy gets ready to fire down and pitches, and that will, I believe it either hit the, either way, it was a walk, might be a hit by pitch, I couldn't tell. No, hit by pitch. So she'll take the walk to first base. They'll make sure she's okay. Take a second. Jaylee's fine. She steps back on the bag, and that will bring up on the left side Jocelyn Farnsworth, number 21. And Farnsworth batting .442 on the season with 5 home runs. 2 down with the runner on first. Hit it to the first baseman. That pitch is straight down the middle, strike one, and Jaylee Farnsworth will steal her way to second base. Farnsworth, let's see, Jaylee Farnsworth, let me check the. Number 20 has 32 stolen bases on the season. She leads Duchesne, make that 33 after that steal. Pitch will be strike, catches the outside corner. So strike 2. 0-2 the count to Jocelyn Farnsworth, the center fielder for Duchesne. Here we go. Batting from the left side is Jocelyn Farnsworth. Here's the pitch and hit over. Nice base hit. Will that one score a run? It will. And so that's a single for Jocelyn Farnsworth, number 21, making the score 4-1. That'll bring up Kelsey Grant. She got on error at her last at bats. So 2 down with Grant up to the plate. Again, Kelsey Grant batting almost 500 from the plate, batting .467 with 2 home runs and a crazy 32 RBIs on the season. She's got a runner at first. Here's the pitch, and will be ball 1, a little bit high. Grant didn't even flinch. I always flinched at the high balls, but Grant didn't even pause on that. So 1-0 the count. So here we go. That pitch is going to be ball low. So for Grant, that's 2-0, the count. So batters counts coming up for Kelsey Grant, the 2-0, as Foy needs a strike. Here's the pitch from Foy. And that one will be down the middle, I believe, strike 1. There's the 2-1 count. Pitch from Foy. They've held Farnsworth on first base. There's the pitch, and that one in the dirt. Ball 3, 3-1. So Farnsworth has 19 stolen bases on the season. Surprised they haven't tested the arm of the catcher for Altamont, Wiersma. Here's the pitch, and that one will be a base on balls. So 2 runners on. Runners on first and second, 2 down, with Lexi Moreland coming up, the catcher for the Duchesne Eagles. Moreland on the season bats .483, 4 home runs, and 38 RBIs. She's the team leader for the Duchesne Eagles. Batting in, of course, the cleanup position for a reason. Foy would like to pitch herself out of this one with 2 down and 2 on. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be low in the dirt, ball 1. Her last at bat, Moreland hit a hit into, looks like a double into left field. Want to know the count. Here it comes. Foy, and it's going to be a beautiful job by the shortstop as she helps out her pitcher. And a nice play by number 5, Abby Long, as she slid to her right and made the nice one-handed grab. So at the end of 2 innings, it is Duchesne 4, Altamont 1 on Centercom Channel 10.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
And happy to have you along. Appreciate our sponsors who bring you these games on Centricom Channel 10. And those sponsors make a big difference in our ability to broadcast these games. So big thanks to our sponsors. Right now, as we head to the third inning, top of the third, it's 4 for the Duchesne Eagles, 1 for the Altamont Longhorns. This is a number 1 and in the RPI and a number 8. Duchesne, of course, the number 1 RPI. Enterprise number 2, Beaver number 3, and then Altamont comes in at number 8. So it's a 1-8 matchup. On the other side of the field, we've got Parowan and Gunnison in the other 2A matchup, and that game is still scoreless in the third inning. And on this side, no score yet for Carbon, the number 1 seed in the 3A tournament, and Grand County, who I believe is number 9. Yep, Grand is number 9. So here we go. Kelsey Grant will start inning number 4 as the pitcher again. Leadoff batter for the Altamont Longhorns is number 1, Reagan Miles. And on the season, Miles batting .250 with 1 home run and 6 hits and 4 RBIs. Fouled off, strike 1. So we're in the top of the third inning. 4-1 our score. Again, game's all delayed. We do know that there's a tree that's blocking the first base path, and not much we can do about that. There's a strike. So 0-2 the count for Reagan Miles. So, and that one will be a ball, 1-2 the count. Miles stays in the box. Here's the pitch from Grant. Grant with the pitch. Would have caught the outside corner. That'll be the first strikeout. That's actually the 4th strikeout in a row for Kelsey Grant. And that'll bring up Riley Allen. Allen batting .250 on the season, 2 RBIs. And Allen is a junior for this Altamont Longhorn team. She plays second base. Here's the first pitch from Grant to Allen. And strike 1, beautiful pitch from Grant. So 0-1 the count. So Grant with the pitch, and does she get the right side corner? She does. 0-2 the count now for Kelsey Grant. So after no strikeouts in the first inning, she's got 4 consecutive, and now with an 0-2 count against Riley Allen. Allen now in the protect. That one up. Good eye by Allen. Ball 1. So 1-2 the count. So here's Kelsey Grant, steps up to the rubber and delivers the pitch. And that one, is it strike or below? Ball 2. Looked a little bit low. 2-2 the count. We're all even. So 2-2. There's the pitch for Grant. Little room to play with 2-2 count. She'll swing and foul it off. So 2-2 remains as that one caught the umpire and knocks off the throat protector. So did its job, but now repairs required on the equipment. Big thanks to Jackson running our TriCaster. Did I get that right, Jackson? Okay. And it's not his fault the tree is in the way of first base, right? Okay. So umpire still working on his equipment. And looks like he's stepped back in, so he's got it fixed up as he took the foul ball to the mask. So 2-2 with the count remaining for Riley Allen. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. And that one's going to be a swing and a miss. That's strike 3. So 5 consecutive strikeouts for Kelsey Grant now for Duchesne. 2 down, no one on. And we're back at the top of the order with number 11, Tanisha Wiersma. So Tanisha will step in. Her last at bat, she hit to the second baseman. She actually got on base with a hit and then got doubled up on the hit to the center. There's the pitch from Grant. Pitch is hit high on the right side. Looks like it'll be out of play, though. So that'll be a strike. One and one the count for Wiersma. Here's the pitch, and Wiersma hits it up in the gap. That'll be a base hit for Wiersma, so her second of the afternoon. Just out of reach of the shortstop and the left fielder. Beautiful base hit. And so she has both hits. She has actually 2 of the 3 hits, as we've got Oakley Foy with a home run, so she has another hit. But then 2 for 2 for Tanisha Wiersma. That'll bring up Abby Long. Long hit a sharp shot back to the first baseman in the first inning that resulted in the double play. There's a pitch hit off the handle, and the third baseman makes the catch, and that'll do it. So for the Altamont Longhorns, we have no runs on 1 hit with 1 left on. As we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's 4-1 Duchesne. We'll be back on Centricom Channel 10.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Sanpete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. Sanpete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. Sanpete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
Number 10 for Duchesne, and that's Cadence Crum. Here's the first pitch of the bottom of the 3rd inning, and that one is a ball. Trying to catch that corner of the inning. 4-1 our score. Duchesne with the lead, and a ball comes in from the Perwin-Gunnison field. Luckily it doesn't hit anybody. That's the challenge of those fourplexes, is sometimes you get some extracurricular balls coming from other fields. So Crum will step back in. 1-0 the count. Bottom of the 3rd, no outs. And it's going to be hit, and the second baseman looks like she has a play, and does. That play made by number 6, Riley Allen, and that's out number 1. on the F4. That'll bring up number 5, which is Hallie Nilsson. And again, Nilsson batting .392 on the season. Nilsson in her last at bat, hit back to the pitcher, was thrown out at first base. 0-1. Here's the pitch from Foy. That one looks down the middle and will be called strike one. In 2A action, Beaver defeats North Severe 15-7. There's the pitch, is high on Nilsson. That'll be ball one. 1-1 the count. Foy will step up and deliver the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Now it's going to be hit for a base hit in right center. Might be a double, as it will be, as Nilsson turns the corner, looks at third. She'll go to third. No play at third. That's a triple for Hallie Nilsson, as she hit it right to the fence in that gap in right center. Hit it on the line drive, and we'll end up with the triple. Yep. And so now Lexi Young up to the plate, number 23. Young got caught looking in her last attempt. She's 0 for 1. One down. There's the pitch from Foy. Pitch is down. The bunt is down, and they're going to hold the runner at third, make a play, but she'll be safe. So that'll be a fielder's choice for number 23, Lexi Young. And she'll move to first base. So I think a smart play by the catcher. Beautiful bunt by Lexi Young. So she does get the fielder's choice, unless you credit that as a single. You get to decide. Fielder's choice. Yeah. So now batting for Duchesne, number 22, Grace Davis. Davis on the season batting .211. Runners on the corners, and that one will hit the batter, so hit by pitch. So now you've got bases loaded, and that'll bring up Farnsworth. So that'll be number 2, Chesney Farnsworth. And her last in bat, she hit it right to the first baseman. So bases juiced for Farnsworth. So Foy will be infield, squeezes in to cover the full bases. Only one down. Here's the pitch, and swing and a miss, strike one. Big cut by Farnsworth as Chesney takes a good solid swing at that one. 0-1 the count. Foy will need some help to get out of the jam with the bases loaded with the one down. Farnsworth steps back in. There's the pitch, and will be down, ball 2. Excuse me, 1-1. So ball 1-1. Again, just a reminder, games are delayed due to rain. Also, first base a little bit obstructed by a tree branch. So the base is loaded, one down. Count 1-1. He fouled off out of play. Will be strike 2. 1-2 now the count for Chesney Farnsworth. Farnsworth playing second base. Again, 4-1 our score here in the top of the third. Excuse me, bottom of the third. Farnsworth will step in. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be a hit into the gap. That will be a single and score 1 run, call it 2. So that's going to be 2 RBIs. 2 RBIs for Farnsworth as she'll drive in Nilsson as well as Young. And that will put runners on first and second. So second hit of the inning for Duchesne. After the triple from Nielsen, now a single from Farnsworth. We're back to the top of the order with Jaylee Farnsworth, the shortstop, up to the plate. Farnsworth was walked the first inning, hit by a pitch in the second. And now this will be a third at bat in 3 innings. Strike one. Farnsworth batting .442 on the season. Davis on second, Farnsworth on first. Chesney, that is. There's the pitch, going to be fouled off. On the left side, that's strike two for Jaylee Farnsworth. So into the count. Got some action on the Gunnison Parowan side of things. Looks like the bases are loaded. And we're all tied at 1. So the bases are loaded for the Gunnison Bulldogs, but Parowan looks like they escape as they get the third out, leave 3 on. Ball for Farnsworth. One and two the count. Foy will have to come to Farnsworth. There's the pitch right down the middle, swing and a foul ball. The count remains 1 and 2 for Jaylee Farnsworth. Again, Farnsworth in the first inning had 5 foul balls or 4 foul balls. She was down 0 and 2 and ended up with a walk. In the second inning, she had a 3-1 count, now a 1 and 2 count. 6-1 our score. Duchesne, the number 1 seed in the 2A classification, taking on number 8, Altamont. 3-1 our count. 2-1 our count. 1 and 2. I'll get it eventually. 1 and 2 the count. Here's Foy. Pitch is low, going to be in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 and 2. Pitch for Foy is going to be a hit to the third baseman. Play at first base, and that will be, we can't see it very well either, but she did get her in time, so that was going to be 5-3 for Jaylee Farnsworth. That'll bring up Jocelyn Farnsworth. It does advance the runners, however, as Davis moves to third, and Chesney Farnsworth moves to second base. So 2 runners in scoring position. There was a single, Jocelyn had a single in the second inning with an RBI. Farnsworth leads the Eagles with a .488 batting average from the left side of the plate. Here's the pitch, and that will be outside, ball 1. Here's Farnsworth stepping up, 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch to Farnsworth. She'll look at that one, ball 2. That one was high, out of the strike zone. Smart move by Jocelyn. Again, runners on second and third, 2 outs, 6-1 our score. Duchesne on top, bottom of the 3. Big out coming for the Altamont Longhorns. Can they escape without another couple of runs? Here's the pitch, and that one looked good. And will be called a ball, low. So ball 3-0. So here comes the hitter's count for Jocelyn Farnsworth. Here's the 3-0 count. And that one will be in the dirt. That'll be a walk, so the base is now loaded. So that moves. So Farnsworth on third. On second is Jaylee, nope. Jaylee Farnsworth. And there's going to be a hit up the right side, and that will be a base hit for number 24, Kelsey Grant. And that'll be another RBI for Grant. So Grant gets another one. That's her second RBI of the game, and that will score Chesney Farnsworth, who hit the single as well. That moves the score to 7-1 now. With 2 outs, runners on the corners for Duchesne. Up to the plate will be Moreland. She's the 9th batter of the inning. She's the catcher for the Duchesne Eagles. Here's the pitch. And that one's deep, way over the fence, but out of bounds as she turned on that one. Moreland on the season with 4 home runs, 38 RBIs, and she bats .483. 8-1. Yep, 8-1. So, that's right. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one looks good. That's going to be hit in the gap. Another base hit for the Duchesne Eagles, and the runner's back to the corners. And that'll be batting around as now, see, 1B for Moreland, and that'll bring up Crum. She flew out to the second baseman. She was the leadoff batter this inning. She'll have another chance in this bottom of the third. Leading 8-1 is Duchesne. Crum walked in her first at bat, so she's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Here's the pitch. Pitch is inside and stolen base for Moreland. So she'll move to second. So runners on second and third for Crum. Cadence with the 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. She'll be inside. Ball 2. So I've got some action on the Gunnison-Parowan game. We'll update that in a minute. Pitch up and out. So that's number 3. 3 balls for Cadence Crum. Again, runners on second and third with 2 outs. Pitch for Crum, and that one looks like it's a little bit low, so base is loaded now. Crum with her second walk of the afternoon. She'll move to first. Base is loaded. Now we got Hallie Nelson. And Nelson batting .392 with 36 RBIs, playing left field. She had a triple her last at-bat in this inning, and she was the second batter of the inning. She has another chance to add to her total. Here's the pitch, and low in the dirt, ball 1. There's a hit up deep right field. That one is up there and out there, and she made the grab. As she goes over the fence, she catches the ball. Before she goes over the fence, the center fielder for Altamont saves 4 runs. Kenley Duncan gets it in her mitt before she falls over the fence, and that stops what would have been a grand slam home run for the Duchesne Eagles. So Hallie Nelson, she does her job, but a great play by Altamont ends the inning. Nonetheless, it is still the score. We'll see. I think it's 8-1 favor of the Duchesne Eagles when we come back with the top of the 4th inning.
Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Castle Valley Orthodontics specializes in state-of-the-art digital radiographs and 3D dental models. It also offers interest-free payment plans starting as low as $99 a month. Castle Valley Orthodontics will be there with you from beginning to end.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Cowley with Castle Valley Orthodontics. Born and raised here in Carbon-Emery County, been able to move back home. Looking forward to meeting everybody of Carbon-Emery County coming in to see us.
The Duchesne Eagles scored 5 runs on 4 hits with 3 left on. And what a fun way to end an inning for us to watch as the center fielder goes over the fence. Kenley Duncan with a snow cone as she goes over the fence, holds on, and robs a grand slam home run for Hallie Nilsson. Now as we start the top of the 4th inning for the Altamont Longhorns, it'll be the 3rd batter, Kenley Duncan, the center fielder. She gets to not only make, number 17, Kenley Duncan. And so not only does she make the great catch in center field, but now she gets to lead off with her team down 9-1. She flew out to the second baseman on her last attempt. Duncan on the season bats .517. That pitch is in there for a strike. Strike one. There was some heat on that one coming across from Grant. Kelsey Grant has been pitching the whole way as we're in the top of the 4th. Pitch is swing. Strike 2. 0-2 the count for Duncan. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Grant, and that one will be off the hands. That's a base on balls hit by a pitch. That one hurts. Certainly not intentional, but it did hurt. And that'll send Duncan on, so the leadoff runner aboard for the Altamont Longhorns in desperate need of some points as they're down by 8, 9-1 in the top of the 4th inning. Now up to the plate for the Longhorns will be Oakley Foy. She homered in her only appearance at the plate, so she's 1 for 1 on the afternoon. And she'll be batting with Duncan on first base. There's the pitch, and going to be fouled off by Foy. The bunt attempt fouls off on the left side. We'll get some scores from Gunnison Parowan in the 2A rank. Also in the 3A's Carbon Grand matchup, and South Summit and Emory. We'll get score updates on both of those as well. Now the count 0-2 for Oakley Foy. Foy will now have to protect with the pitcher's count coming. Here it is. That one's inside, no good. And they'll hold Duncan at first base. So the count stays 0-2. Excuse me, 1-2. There's the pitch. And that one inside as well. 2-2, the count even for Oakley Foy. It's always amazing when someone down 0-2 has to take those tight. Neither one were strikes, but it's tough to hold on those pitches with an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch, and hit hard, but out of play. 0-2 the count. Got an update from Dennis Aldridge. Duchesne 9-1. It's South Summit 2-0, and there's going to be off the first baseman. I'm going to count that as a hit, as I'm not sure Grant really had much of a chance to make that play. So another hit for Oakley Foy, and that'll put runners on first and second with no outs. So Riley Norton now up to the plate, number 10. And she bats .519 on the season with 12 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 triples. Parowan 4, Gunnison 1, top of the 4th. Here at the field, single up the middle. So runners on first and second, no outs. Altamont desperate need of runs now. Down by 8. Norton with the strikeout, 0-1 on the afternoon. There's the pitch, and it's going to be off the hands. That'll advance the runners, as it was ball 1. So Foy to second, Duncan to third. Norton steps back in. No score yet with Carbon and Grand. Carbon the number 1 seed, so that's going to be an interesting one. Fouled off for Riley Norton. So Altamont with Coach Long working on some runs in this top of the 4th inning. 1-1 the count for Riley Norton. That one swing and fouled out of play on the right side. So count moves to 1-2. Big thanks from our sponsors. We'll cover those in just a minute. So strike 3, and that one's a play at third base, and that was a close one. But a heads-up play by the third base. So you've got a strikeout, number 1. So 1 out. And that'll bring up Sydney Allred, the right fielder, wearing number 19. Once again, big thanks to all of our sponsors who bring you 2A and 3A softball at the Spanish Fork Softball Complex. Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, Stampede Steel in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones DeMille Engineering, strike 1, and Town and Country Home Mortgage in Nephi. Let's give a big shout out to Home Health and Hospice at Beaver Valley Hospital. They're avid fans of all high school sports. And instead of working, they're watching softball today. So here's Grant with runners on second and third. 1 down. The bunt is down, and what a beautiful bunt. And they'll hit the runner, so the runner will advance. A run scores. Play at third base is safe. And what a great bunt. Perfect bunt by Sydney Allred. That'll be a single for Allred. And that will score Oakley Foy. The 2 umpires will communicate and say that is the correct call. Yeah, that was the question I had too, is they hit the runner, and that might be the question that they had over there, and asking if the runner was outside the baseline. It was close, but I didn't notice that she was inside the line. Yeah, it was close. So a beautiful bunt by Sydney Allred scores another one. That's 2 runs scored now in the inning. Runners on the corners. Only 1 run scored in the inning. That was the first run scored. I got ahead of myself. Sorry. So up to bat will be Gracie Thacker in her last at bat. Thacker went down 0-1 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch and a bunt on the left side. Thacker, and it's going to be safe on the error. And the wheels coming off the bus just a little bit for the number 1 Duchesne Eagles. Another run comes back in. And so that will be an E6. And that will bring up the E4. No, it was E6, wasn't it? Wasn't that the third baseman?
The first baseman, or second baseman bobbled it.
Okay.
But it could have been a bad throw. I wasn't watching that part. Either way, it doesn't matter.
So that will score that second run of the inning. So our score is now 9-3. With Reagan Miles up. She struck out her last bat. 0-1 on the afternoon. She's playing third base. number 1, Miles, on the season batting .250 with 4 RBIs. Only one down here, and the hit's going to be up the middle, and double play attempt coming. And that's going to result in an error on a throwing error. The play at the plate, nope, no play at the plate. That will score another run. And so the 3 runs now scored now, and then I'm not sure what happened. I looked down to.
I wonder if she came around and they tagged her.
She might have. So the run scores. So that'll be 4. So the Altamont Longhorns scored 3 runs on 2 hits with none left on. So at the end, going into the bottom of the 4th, it's 9 for Duchesne, 4 for Altamont.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
So from the left side will be Lexi Young. She is 0 for 2 on the afternoon with a strikeout and a fielder's choice. Young batting .306 on the season with 16 RBIs. The first baseman, Young, will low, ball 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-0. Hitters count coming up for Lexi Young. Here's the pitch, and swing and fouled off on the left side. The count's 2-1 for Lexi Young. 9-3 our score here as we hit the bottom of the 4th inning. Top of 5 coming up. There's the 2-1 pitch for Foy, and will be hit on the left side, fouled. So the count even now at 2-2. Coming up in games following this will be in the 2A classification. It will be Beaver taking on the Millard Eagles and the Enterprise Wolves and the South Sevier Rams. So coming up directly after these games. Again, all your tournament games delayed by 2.5, maybe 3 hours due to rain, but the fields are in great condition. The grounds crew did an awesome job, fouled off, so the count stays 2-2. And so you'll have to stay posted. It might be a late night of softball here in Spanish Fork. We'll keep you posted on that. Also, obstructed view on first base. We cannot move the tree, so we'll work on that later. Here's Foy with a 2-2 pitch. And it's going to be hit on the left side. Base hit for Young on the left side. Beautiful from the right side of the plate. Oh, we like good hits, don't we? So the leadoff runner aboard is Lexi Young, as she's now 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Now Grace Davis comes in. She's batting .211 on the season with 10 RBIs. She was hit by the pitcher on her last attempt. She's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Hit into a fielder's choice, second base, hit to the second base in the second inning. Strike one for Grace. Grace steps back in with the 0-1 pitch. There it is, hit back to the pitcher. Play to the first baseman, out number 1. 1-3, and that does advance Lexi Young into scoring position on second base, bringing up Chesney Farnsworth, the second baseman. Farnsworth 273 on the season with 16 RBIs for the Duchesne Eagles. She hit a single into right center in her last at bat and hit to the first base on her first at bat. So 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Farnsworth steps in. There's the pitch from Foy. Swing and a miss. Strike one. A lot of action happening in the field next to us. We'll try to see the score over here. It's now 4-1. Pitch from Foy, going to be hit to the shortstop, turns, fires, and the throw's going to be not in time. And I'm not sure how we'd score that. I'm not sure that's an error. That's a tough field. Yeah, I'd give her a base hit as well. So the second base hit of the inning by Chesney Farnsworth. The runner's now at the corners with 1 out, with Jaylee Farnsworth up to bat. Farnsworth with 1 hit. She was hit by a pitcher, and then she hit third to first base in her last attempt. 1 down. Pitch is going to be bunted up the middle and out at first. No, error. And so therefore the runners stay at the corners. That will move Young in. She'll score 1. Now 10-3 is our score. And that'll bring up Jocelyn Farnsworth. Farnsworth with a single. She's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk in her 3 at bats. So an E3 with the last one. Farnsworth at the plate. She'll bunt as well. Beautiful, but just goes foul. That was just about perfect, but the spin on the ball pulled it outside the baseline. It was close. So the runners stay at the corners. 0-1 the count. Second position for Farnsworth. She plays center field. There's the 0-1 pitch. It's going to be outside, and that'll advance the runner.
Hey, Russ.
10-3 our score, bottom of 4. Here's the pitch. So here's the pitch for Foy, and it's going to be swing and popped up on the left side. The shortstop trying to make a catch and able to do so. Beautiful coverage, nice range by the shortstop for the Altamont Longhorns. Abby Long goes all the way to the edge of the fence to make that catch. So F6 for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up that pitcher, Kelsey Grant. Grant got on an error and had a single. So 1 for 1 with a walk in this afternoon's game. Duchesne leading 10-3. Ball 1 for Grant. She'll step back in. Pitch is going to be outside for Grant. Even ball 2. 2-0 the count for Kelsey Grant. So Grant will step back in. 2-0 the count. But runners on second and third with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Right side strike. Nice corner shot by Foy as she catches that outside corner. Grant with a 2-0 count says, I'll take that one. Kelsey will step back in. So 2 outs, a big opportunity for both teams. Ball inside, so 3-1. Now the hitter's count coming for Grant. So runners on second and third. 2 down. 3-1. Pitch is out and up. Ball 4. So Grant will take a base on balls. And now the base is loaded. Here's another opportunity. We saw this in the last inning as base is loaded. And it was Nilsson with a deep shot to center field that was caught by the center fielder. But this time it's going to be Lexi Moreland up for the Duchesne Eagles. She's got a double and a single in this game. She's 2 for 3. And on the season, Morley with 38 RBIs leads the team. She's in a prime position with the bases loaded. And 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Moreland from Foy. That one is going to miss outside or low. Couldn't tell which or both. It'll be ball 1. The News Titans just a touch for Foy with the 1-0 count. Moreland steps back in. Comes the pitch, and that one's going to be inside. Ball 2. So now Foy's going to have to come back with a strike to Moreland. Again, bases loaded, 2 outs. 10-3, Duchesne with the lead, and a chance to add to that lead. There's a pitch, and going to be strike 1, right corner. Beautiful pitch by Oakley Foy. Took a minute just making sure. It was very close, and the umpire said it was. So 2-1 the count. Moreland steps back in. Here's Foy with the 2-1 pitch. Now down the middle, hit to the third baseman, and she unable to decide exactly what to do. She spins, unable to make a play, and that will be an RBI for Moreland. And she'll get on an error. So that moves Farnsworth in for the run. Now the bases stay loaded for Cadence Crum. And here's a nice base hit for Crum. Beautiful bunt. That was perfectly done as the pitcher wasn't unable to get to that, nor was the third baseman. And so we're gonna call a timeout. So I'm checking with these two to make sure. Okay, I did a hit as well, and so that will be a base hit for Cadence Crum. Crum on the afternoon is now 1 for 2 with 2 walks, and so the score is now 12-3. Duchesne on top with Hallie Nilsson. And let's see, making sure we've got the right ones. Bases stay loaded. So 2 runs scored in this inning. So it is. Yep, she hit a single. And now we've got Hallie Nilsson up to bat. This is batter number 9 in this inning. Nilsson hit a triple and then hit to the pitcher and flew out to the center fielder. So Farnsworth came in, and she is on third. That one came in. Yes. Yeah. There's a hit to the pitcher, and that one to the catcher is out for the inning. So that'll do it. But Duchesne does some damage in the bottom of the fourth. They lead big going into the top of the fifth.
JN Auto loves our customers and our community, so we have sanitized our entire inventory. Mold, germs, and yes, coronavirus are eradicated. Our all-natural treatment is safe for you, your pets, and anyone you take along in your new ride. After 6 months, stop by and we can get you rolling germ-free again. Treatments are offered in a single application or a 1, 3, or 5-year contract. Stop by your local JN Auto location to learn more about our sanitizing options.
Top of the fifth inning, Duchesne leads 12-3, and Altamont will be leading off with Reagan Miles. Reagan 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Altamont desperate need for some scoring, down by 9, and Duchesne putting some pressure on. So leading off for the Altamont Longhorns will be Reagan Miles, as I mentioned. Miles batting .250 on the season. Here's the first pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Grant just burns that one by. Here's the pitch, strike two. That one's a little bit high. Got Miles to bite on it. So 0-2. There's the 0-2 pitch, and swing and a miss. Strike three, batter's out. That's the plan first. So first out of the inning for Kelsey Grant. That brings up Riley Allen. And Allen for the Longhorns also batting .250 on the season. Pitch is low, ball one for Allen. Perwin 4, Gunnison 1, but we'll need to get a score update on that one. Here's the pitch, and that is number 11. That's Wiersma at the plate, and she'll hit it out to the center fielder. So I had that incorrect. F8, 4-2. So Abby Long comes to the plate for Altamont. Oh for 2 on the afternoon for Abby Long. She plays shortstop for the Longhorns, made a great catch. Score is now 7-1 with Gunnison and Perwin. So Perwin with the lead against the Gunnison Bulldogs. Fouled off on the left side for Long. Strike. Coming up shortly will be the second half of our doubleheader in the 3A classification. Will be Manti, Canyon View, Grantsville, North Sanpete. And in the 2A classification, it will be strike. That's a strike. And on the 2A classification, it will be Enterprise, South Severe, Beaver, and Millard. So stay tuned, and you'll be able to see those all on Centricom Channel 10. Here's the pitch for Long. She'll hit a nice hit into the right center field. Goes past the base runner. They'll throw it to second base. Play at the plate will be safe. So a double for Abby Long to right center field. That'll bring up Kenley Duncan, number 17. What's that?
What did Tanisha do?
She flew out the center fielder.
I thought that was Riley Allen.
Yeah, I did as well. Here's the pitch and fouled off. That will be a strike one for Duncan. Here comes Grant with the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike two. Good healthy cut at that one. Duncan batting in the third position for Altamont. Runner in scoring position is Abby Long after hitting the double. There are two outs. 0-2 the count. High, ball one. Duncan took a big flinch at that one. Smartly didn't hit it. Did not take the bait. Gunnison 7, Parowan 7, Gunnison 1, top of 6. Pitch is going to be outside. They make a play on second base. Goes through, nice backup by the center fielder. They hold Long at second. Grant will take 1 second, reposition the ball in the mitt. Here comes Grant. Fouled off. The count remains 1-2. – 12-3 our score. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Runner on second, 2 down for Altamont. Duncan at the plate. Kelsey Grant with the pitch. And it's going to be hit into the gap. Nice hit. That'll bring in a run, I believe. Let's see, the play at the plate will be cut off. And just a nice base hit by Duncan. And she'll score an RBI as she drives in Abby Long from second base. So that makes the score 12-4, cuts into that lead. And Duncan with a single. And Oakley Foy now up to the plate. Foy on the afternoon is 2 for 2 with a home run and a single. She's batting in the 4 position. She's the pitcher for Altamont. Here's the pitch. High. Ball one for Oakley Foy. And they make a play at first base. Ball goes into right field, but not much of an opportunity for Duncan to move to second. So the count 1-0 for Oakley Foy. Foy hits it right back to the pitcher. That was right off of, what a beautiful, nope, it'll be safe. And that was a beautiful play, but Kelsey Grant, that came off of her foot. That had to have hurt. And so there will be, I'm trying to decide if that's an error or a hit. First baseman dropped it, so it has to be an error. Well, because they might have got her, so it'd have to be an E. So Foy gets on an error. It went off the pitcher's foot, straight up into the air. Yep. And the second baseman made a great play, picked it up, threw over to first, and in the rush, the ball was dropped. Might have got her, might not have. But nonetheless, it's runners on first or second, and it'll be Riley Norton up to bat. 0 for 2 on the afternoon for Norton. Norton on the season bats 520. She has a foul ball, strike one. 0-1 the count. 12-4. These two teams know each other quite well in all the sports. And in football, they play together, Altamont and Duchesne. Here's the pitch. Strike two. So Norton with an 0-2 count. Grant with the pitch. And there will be... They're going to make them run and see. So what happened is there was a drop ball third strike because the base was occupied. The Altamont wisely, the runner from first and second, both took off knowing there were two outs. And the catcher didn't throw down to first for the out. So it goes as a strikeout, but not an out. So the base is now loaded. So it'll be an E2 for that one. That brings up Sydney Allred. Allred 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a single at her last at bat. Big opportunity for Allred. That one's going to be hit to the pitcher. Can Grant make the play? And she does. Duchesne gets out of the inning, leaving 3 runners on the base. Altamont scores 1 run on 2 hits with 3 runners left on. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, 12-4, Duchesne with the lead.
Town & Country Home Mortgage has been simplifying the home buying process for 18 years. We offer VA, FHA, USDA, conventional, and construction loans. Come see us or apply online at NephiMortgage.com. That's NephiMortgage.com. We are committed to our community and enjoy serving our friends and family. Talk to one of our expert loan officers, Abby Ivory, Liz Brotherson, Chantel Bennett, or Joe Nielsen. Town & Country Home Mortgage, proud supporters of high school athletics.
Bottom of the 5th inning will be Lexi Young leading off for the Duchesne Eagles. Number 23. She's 1 for 3 on the afternoon with a base hit and an RBI in her last at-bats. She bats from the left side. There's a pitch from Foy. Strike 1, caught that outside corner. Coming up at the end of this one on this field will be, I believe, Enterprise taking on South Sevier. Beaver and Millard on the other field, high and inside. That'll be ball 1, 1-1 the count. There's the pitch from Foy. 2 runs, and this one's over for Altamont. Outside, ball 2. So we're in the bottom of 5. Try to get some other updates from other games going on right now. Last check, we had Parowan 7, Gunnison 1. Pitch is going to be fouled off on the left side. Counts even at 2. Send a text, ask for some updates on the 3A games. Here up to bat is Lexi Young. And she's at a 2-2 count. There's the pitch from Foy. Gets away from her outside, ball 3. So the count full for Lexi Young. Again, Duchesne, the number 1 seed in the 2A classification. Carbon, the number 1 seed in the 3A. They're in a tough game with Grand County. Pitch is going to be hit off the left side, third to first in time for the out. That's out number 1. Altamont turns the long throw from the third baseman, Reagan Miles, over to Kenley Duncan. Grace Davis, the batter. And Davis on the season bats .211, and she has a strike 1. There's the 0-1 pitch from Foy. That one will be ball 1, 1-1. 0 for 1 for Davis on the afternoon. She was hit by a pitch on her last attempt. Foy's pitch in the dirt will be ball 2. 2-1 the count. Big thanks to all of our sponsors who bring you 2 and 3A softball on Centricom Channel 10. That includes Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, San Pete Steel in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones DeMille Engineering, Town and Country Home Mortgage in Nephi. Big thanks to our sponsors. Here's a hit to the second baseman, and at the feet, and will be safe at first base as she was unable to make the play, bounced off a shoe, a little bit of a distraction, and that'll put a base runner on for the Duchesne Eagles. As Davis moves to first. Now will be Chesney Farnsworth, number 2, playing second base for Duchesne. Farnsworth batting .273 on the season with 16 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Foy. Will be fouled off, strike 1. That one went right off the foot of Farnsworth. Farnsworth batting in the 9 position. Coming up, we will have the leadoff batter, Jaylee Farnsworth, coming up. There's the 0-1 pitch. And it's going to be hit off the handle, safely foul, so it'll be strike 2. Those are always dangerous as Foy jammed the batter and off the handle. Pitcher's count for Oakley Foy. Had a few illegal pitches on that other side in Grand and Carbon. That's a number 1 seed and a number 9 seed. That one will be interesting to see what happens. Can Grand pull the upset against the number 1 seed? Good attempt by the catcher, but unable to make the play. The count with the foul ball. The count remains 0-2. So I'm going to see if we can get the money man, Tyler Moss, to give me an update on the score. Carbon's up 1-0. So there's your update. You can see all the action in the 2A tournament and the 3A tournament on Centricom Channel 10 or KSL.com. On the pass ball, so Grace Davis moves to second in scoring position. Again, one down. And the count is 1-2. Farnsworth's batted quite well today. She is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and 3 RBIs. Pitch is going to be outside. That's ball 2. How to give our score guy Russ here a headset. He could help call it. Here comes a pitch from Foy. 2-2 pitch. That one's down the middle. Going to be hit to the shortstop. It gets through into center field. Then goes past the center fielder. That'll bring 1 run to the plate as you've got Farnsworth going around, and she'll make it to third base. And so another run scores for Duchesne. 1 more, and this game. That'll bring up Jaylee Farnsworth, the leadoff batter. Farnsworth was hit by a pitch, walked, and then got on an error. Also hit into an out from third base to first base. So that's the 3rd hit in a row for Chesney Farnsworth. And the winning run on third base with Jaylee Farnsworth. Here it is, and pitch is high. Altamont squeezes a bit. They cannot allow this run. Farnsworth, if she can bunt up the right baseline, the first baseline, see what happens. Farnsworth steps back in. Here's the pitch. Farnsworth squares to bunt, pulls it back. And that'll be another ball. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. A little cat and mouse with Foy and Farnsworth. See if Farnsworth squares to bunt. The pitch is high. Ball 3. 3-0 the count to Jaylee Farnsworth. So 3-0. 3-0, 1 out. Winning run on third. Here's the pitch. And that'll be a corner shot. Full count now to Farnsworth. Actually 3-1, my bad. First strike for Farnsworth. Here comes a 3-1 pitch from Foy. That's going to be a hit on the left side, but foul. So now the count is full. So full count to Jaylee Farnsworth. Farnsworth, a senior for Duchesne. Foy takes time in the circle. Now will approach. Here's the full count pitch from Foy. So base on balls for Jaylee Farnsworth. Puts runners at the corners. Chesney Farnsworth at third, Jaylee Farnsworth at first, with Jocelyn Farnsworth at the plate. Farnsworth 1 for 3 with a single in the 2nd inning. And Altamont Coach Long will call a timeout and talk to his team. Altamont will have to contend with the runners at the corners. I would guess that Duchesne will try to advance the runner on first base to second. And Coach Long talking about the importance of that run as he squeezes the infield, because any hit ball will have to be played at the plate or the game's over. A deep fly ball on a tag up, either way. So Coach Long talks to his team. And we'll reset. Again, runners at first and third, 1 down. Winning run on third base. With Jocelyn Farnsworth looking for a walk-off hit to end the ball game. To move them forward to face the winner of Parowan and Gunnison. Parowan looks to be ahead in that game. Here's the pitch to Farnsworth. She'll put down the bunt on the left side. And they do hold the runner, and that will be a single for Jocelyn Farnsworth. Now the bases are loaded. And that's probably exactly what Coach Long talked about. He said, on a bunt, hold it, and then we'll load the bases. That'll bring up Kelsey Grant. Grant is 1 for 2 on the afternoon with 2 walks. She hit into right center in the 3rd inning. Grant, the junior, for Duchesne, the pitcher. Bases loaded, the infield squeezed in tight. Play has to be at the plate or the game's over. 13-4, Duchesne with the bases loaded and the lead. Foy with the pitch, high, Ball one. Nope, strike one. Grant steps back in. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Grant inside and high. That will be ball one. 1-1 the count. Game's delayed by rain and a superb grounds crew working to clear puddles off of fields, and appreciate all of their efforts. But you'll have to stay tuned to see what time games are. Here's a pitch to Grant. Bases loaded. Grant will get a walk-off single, and that will bring in 1 run and 2 runs. Here comes the 3rd run. They will all count, and Grant will stop at third base. That scores 3. 16-4 is your final. The Duchesne Eagles will advance with a win over the Altamont Longhorns. A walk-off triple by Kelsey Grant as she picks up 3 RBIs on the big hit to right center field. And that'll do it for us as well. So Duchesne, the number 1 seed, protects that ranking, and they'll move on to face the winner of Parowan and Duchesne. I'm Scott Langford, and for Centricom Channel 10, we'll see you here shortly with Enterprise and South Sevier.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Jones & DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com. Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded modeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combined with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Castle Valley Orthodontics specializes in state-of-the-art digital radiographs and 3D dental models. It also offers interest-free payment plans starting as low as $99 a month. Castle Valley Orthodontics will be there with you from beginning to end.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Cowley with Castle Valley Orthodontics. Born and raised here in Carbon-Emery County, been able to move back home. Looking forward to meeting everybody of Carbon-Emery County coming in to see us.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
JN Auto loves our customers and our community, so we have sanitized our entire inventory. Mold, germs, and yes, coronavirus. Safe for you, your pets, and anyone you take along in your new ride. After 6 months, stop by and we can get you rolling germ-free again. Treatments are offered in a single application or a 1, 3, or 5-year contract. Stop by your local JN Auto location to learn more about our sanitizing options.
Town & Country Home Mortgage has been simplifying the home buying process for 18 years. We offer VA, FHA, USDA, conventional, and construction loans. Come see us or apply online at NephiMortgage.com. That's NephiMortgage.com. We are committed to our community and enjoy serving our friends and family. Talk to one of our expert loan officers, Abby Ivory, Liz Brotherson, Chantel Bennett, or Joe Nielsen. Town & Country Home Mortgage, proud supporters of high school athletics.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Doctors B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best